Hey guys, today I'm just talking to you about some leadership positions you can take in your university. I actually applied for some at my school, so this is kind of my leadership application experience to you guys. So, if you guys are applying to universities now, then you do know there's like mandatory orientation that you guys have to spend like an overnight in. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fun. I promise. I did one and I was super nervous because I'm out of state and there's legitimately no one else from Florida that I know of in my grade. So as you guys can tell, it's pretty hard for like if you're going into a school that you don't know anyone who's applied to it or anyone who's going to it. But I promise you guys, it'll be fine. It'll be fun. You'll make some good friends. Um, so let's get straight into this. So leadership positions. My school has about 8, 9 leadership positions. You can apply for leadership positions at the like winter breakish area because it's like preparing you for the following year. I actually applied for two things and then I decided to apply for a third, and I'm happy to say I got all my positions. So if you go to my school, you probably don't know what school I go to yet. If you do, pretty proud of you. If you don't, you guys will probably find out pretty soon because I'm pretty much like not hiding it anymore. I'm just scared to like vlog on campus because people will look at me and be like, okay, that's weird. So that's a thing. So school leadership positions in high school, you guys have like student council and all that stuff, and you still have those in university, but they don't play as large of a role as they did in your high school career, because in your high school it's kind of like student councils in charge of everything, and like everyone was like, oh my gosh, I had to be in student council and get my voice heard. But in university, student council's there. I don't know what they do. Like, I don't know what they do because we have so many like subgroups and clubs that have like leadership roles that are also important in my university. So I feel like you don't really see student council students as much, but they are there if you really want to be in it. They probably are making differences, but I learned that student council in high school is not the same as student council in university. Student council in university is more logistics. If you have student council in high school, it's more like events and like interacting with your campus kind of things. That's more of the realm of like events board. We have events board at my school. I'm in events board. I haven't applied for a leadership position just because I have co-op next spring because architecture program we do co-op pretty early, so couldn't really apply for it because I didn't want to like hinder anyone, because then I'd go to work and then have to like rush back to school to like make meetings, and I didn't want to like cause that like friction in the club. But anyway, leadership positions, obviously you can still apply for like club leadership positions if they are available, because you know there's co-op, there are people graduating, there are people switching schools, so like there's always a leadership position available in clubs. If you're in that club, then go for it. I have my roommate. She is the treasurer for our women's club at our school, and like it's a lot of work for her just as a freshman and in her major. But like that's something she wanted to do, and she wanted to take that initiative. But so yeah, those clubs are always there. Those leadership positions that you've done since high school are always available. But there are like some new ones. So for example, I'm part of the students wow students board. So it's basically kind of like we are there to listen to whenever something happens like infractions. We're just there to bring awareness to like the school rules, so like maybe host an event that interacts with the students and makes them want to know maybe the school like oath, maybe the school rules a little bit more, just like interactive things like that. Maybe some small little fairs where you play a game and the game is revolved around like specific sets of rules, etc., etc. So that's like the community standards board that I'm in. So it's like I call it students board just because like I'm a student on it, but it's like more than just students, like students, adults, faculty. So that's like a very big thing for me. That's like a role that I didn't know how to handle. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I can update you guys on that if you guys ever want to be in a board like that in your university. Um, Second one I got was the resident assistant. So resident assistant is basically the RA on your floor. So if you are living on campus, I'm pretty sure you know what your RA is. I was able to get that leadership position. That leadership position has a lot of restrictiveness to me. just because like there are things that I can't do anymore. So like, let's say I have a friend who tells me something that they're not supposed to, like maybe doing, like if you're under 21, if you drink or something like that, and you were to tell me at my school, I would have to notify the school because an RA is kind of like upholding all the school rules. So it's kind of like that balance between being a community standards board where I'd have to like see like if a friend of mine were to get in trouble, I have to like put the friendship aside and listen to actual like what they did and like be able to judge that fairly. And then in like tandem with that, being an RA is also like if you tell me something, I have to bring that up and I have to like kind of just like limit the friendship. Like if you do something like wrong that you like know is against school policy, it's kind of like something your RA has to be like, hey, so I have to tell the school that you did this even though you told me in confidence just because like that's your job description. You also have to be aware that like I think we have like events that we have to hold as RAs to get our floor interactive. We have to do like door decorating just to keep our floor interactive, floor meetings, room checks, and all that stuff. So if you want to do an RA position, it's kind of a lot more work than like it looks, but it looks really fun, and that's why I signed up for it. So I'm really excited because I'm that person who's like I want to do everything and I want to like do a lot. So hopefully that goes well. The last leadership position I applied for was the orientation slash WOW week leader. So WOW week is like opening week at my school, and then the orientation leaders are very self-explanatory. So I was able to get both of those positions, but since if you're an RA, you're not allowed to do opening week just because that hinders you from actually interacting with your floor, because you have to be there for when they're moving in, you know, meet parents if their parents have questions, interact with the students themselves, guide them if they have any questions. So that's why you can't do like opening week at your school if you become a resident assistant. So if you want to do both, you're gonna have to make that final decision on which one you think is better and which one you think is for you. And with orientation leader, we kind of just make the students feel welcome, feel like they have a friend. Even like if they're like, I don't want to interact with my group, you interact with them. So it's kind of giving them that extra like push into university, because it's quite different from like the movies, and it's not that similar to like high school, obviously, because you're living there and you're gonna have to make new friends if your friends don't go there. And so it's kind of just like orientation leaders are that first step into university. We show you the campus, we take you to, I'm sorry, unfortunately, you do have to go to those lectures. It's a lot of lectures, but it's not that bad, I promise. So you go to lectures and then basically just play games with you, interact with you, answer questions, just make you feel like a college student for like that overnight. But then like after that, trust me, after that overnight, you can be like, I want to stay here a little bit longer. That was like everyone's like feeling, like sentiment at the end of the event. But then again, if you're living on campus, you'll be back in like 2 months and you'll be like, you'll love it, and then you'll still be like kind of homesick a few times. I wasn't that homesick, but I do visit on all the breaks, even though I am an out-of-state student. So if you're in state, if you're that homesick, you can visit more often. University teachers aren't that like strict. They're very strict, but they're not like, if you miss my class, I'm going to email you, I'm going to call your parents kind of thing. They're like, you're spending your money to be here, so if you're not here, that's not my problem, because it's not my money that's being wasted, it's yours kind of situation. If you guys ever want me to go into like detail, I can definitely do that about like freshmen in universities. But yeah, so those are just a few leadership positions I'm in, but there's also the admissions ambassadors. So those are your tour guides. The tour guides are amazing. They're super nice. They're super excited. I can never be a tour guide, but I am an orientation leader because it's just weird. Or like tour guides are more like, hi, and they're louder, and I don't have a loud voice. Like if I'm speaking loud, no one hears me still, because my loud voice is like everyone's normal level voice. So there's also that position. There's also like commuter student assistants. So those are like the people who are commuters or want to help the commuters feel the same like connection with the university that someone living on campus would. And there's so many more positions. So if you want to apply for a leadership position, I highly recommend it, just because it gets you integrated in the school more. It helps you in the future when you're applying for jobs and co-ops, because you're technically working at the school and getting work experience. So like, leadership positions in universities are just like, I really recommend them. I really think that you should push yourselves. It's a little hard to push yourself sometimes. I'm like an introvert extrovert, so I'm like in between. In certain situations I can be an extrovert, but in others I'm an introvert. So definitely, like, schools are looking for more than just extroverts to be leaders, because not every student is an extrovert, which is a big thing to take away. Like, just because you're not loud or hyper doesn't mean you can't have these leadership positions, because just because you're quiet doesn't mean everyone else is like loud and ecstatic, because there are other students who probably feel the same as you or act the same as you. So that's something that you really need to remember when like you're kind of like pushing yourself back, like, no, I'm not extroverted enough to be in this position. Because an example is like, I have two friends who aren't that extroverted, and they both got orientation or opening week leaders, just because like there are those students as well, and they need someone that they can talk to and feel connected to, because the university is not just one type of student, it's like many coming together and making a community. So anyway, if you guys like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll put a little more detail in the comments about like my positions that I just got, along with some positions that I mentioned, just so you guys, if you're interested, you can see what that would require. And yeah, if you guys like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I just repeated that. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.